Dr. Rudi Newman, a historian and author working with Hertfordshire's library service, and in this series we'll be revealing some of the important, obscure and sometimes unusual stories to be found in Hertfordshire's history. Hemel Hempstead has origins dating back to the 8th century, but largely developed as a post-war new town. Many notable figures have lived here, but one was to have particular importance in helping change the course of World War II, and giving landlocked Hemel a direct connection to some of its greatest naval engagements. Captain Maund was born in Hemel Hempstead on the 26th of September 1892. With a love of the sea, he joined the Royal Navy in 1905, and after training was commissioned as a sub-lieutenant in 1913. World War I was a difficult time for the Navy, and Maund was present at the conflict's largest naval engagement, the Battle of Jutland. After the war, he worked through the ranks, being promoted to captain in 1934, but largely remaining on shore, assisting with research and development projects. After World War II began, his first active role was in the Norwegian campaign, an attempted Allied occupation of Norway, for which he was mentioned in dispatches. His next role, though, was to make his place in history. Taking over from Cedric Holland, on the 19th of April 1941, Maund became captain of HMS Ark Royal. Launched in 1937, she was one of Britain's premier aircraft carriers, the latest in design, and capable of carrying up to 72 aircraft. She also had quite the reputation, having hunted the German pocket battleship Graf Spee and undertaken extensive Mediterranean deployment. Maund's first task was convoy movements between Malta and Gibraltar, but in May 1941 Ark Royal was called to assist with an emergency. This was to be arguably the most famous naval engagement of modern times, the Bismarck campaign. Flagship of the German Kriegsmarine and the most advanced warship of her day, Bismarck had left Norway on the 20th of May 1941. Breaking out into the Atlantic via the Denmark Straits off Greenland, she had engaged HMS Prince of Wales and the British flagship Hood, sinking the Hood within 10 minutes of firing. Exploding, only 3 of Hood's 1,419-strong crew survived. As Bismarck was such a threat to the convoys supplying Britain, every available ship was called into the chase. On the 23rd of May, Ark Royal steamed north to help with the search, one of her planes finding Bismarck making its way to France. With the main fleet unable to reach her in time, Ark Royal sent 15 bombers to try and slow Bismarck down. The first attempt was not a success, nearly torpedoing HMS Sheffield by accident, but the second attempt was to be the deciding blow. So desperate was the Royal Navy that the only planes available, going up against Bismarck's cutting-edge weaponry, were fabric-covered swordfish biplanes. Ironically, they proved so slow in the air that the fast-acting anti-aircraft guns couldn't hit them. 3 torpedoes struck Bismarck, one of which crippled her steering, forcing her into an uncontrolled turn back towards the British fleet. Unable to manoeuvre, she was subjected to nearly 12 hours of bombardment before being scuttled by her crew on the 27th of May. Returning to Malta convoys, Ark Royal was now quite the celebrity and considered a lucky ship. Maund was praised for his work, given a CBE, but Ark Royal's luck would run out. On the 13th of November 1941, she was torpedoed by the U-81, sinking the next day. After an inquiry in 1942, Maund was court-martialed for negligence, being found guilty of 2 counts regarding insufficient damage control preparation. The board, however, acknowledged that expectations of Maund had been high, and that he had foremost concerned himself with the safety of the crew, only 1 being lost out of a total of 1,488 on board. In 2002, and with the discovery of her wreck, it was found that her design was the ultimate factor, rather than any of Maund's actions. Despite this setback, his skills were still recognised, and in May 1942 he was made Director of Combined Operations Middle East. He was praised again for his involvement in the 1943 Allied invasion of Sicily, and despite being put forward for retirement that year, went on to lead Combined Operations India. From 1944, Maund led the development of a new type of landing craft, capable of carrying tanks, with the resultant vessels proving vital for D-Day. Promoted to Rear Admiral in 1946, passing away on the 18th of June 1957, Captain Maund played a crucial role in many parts of World War II, from the sinking of the Bismarck to the infrastructure needed for D-Day. Hemel Hempstead may be far from the sea, but through him it has a connection to these most monumental of events. If you would like to know more, there is plenty available, and Hertfordshire libraries are a great place to start, with many online resources alongside material in your local library. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for listening.